This will be interesting now that I get to talk about Jamie the person before you hear about Jamie the athlete. So when Jamie asked me to be his presenter, I literally couldn't say yes fast enough. I mean, this is a guy that I respect incredibly, and when you hear a little bit more about him, I think you'll see why. Jamie, I was going to say, is the only athlete here today that's still competing, but of course, after we've heard about Howard, we know that he's out there at a world level as well. But Jamie, at age 35, is out there today, still competing, still looking for a shot on yet another Olympic team, which is an incredible accomplishment. And to give an example and an idea of Jamie's athletic prowess, the thing that reminds me how high this guy can jump is the following. You stand up, you go on your tippy toes, you put your hand in the air, you look up, way up, and right up above there, that's where Jamie is jumping, okay? Over the tip of your hand. He's jumped as high as you can see in the program as 7 feet, 8 inches, which is unbelievable, and he's still going to those heights. But what's really even more amazing is Jamie Nieto, the man. And Jamie Nieto, the man, is what I call a Renaissance man. If you don't know it, and you'll see in a minute, he is a dead ringer for Will Smith, okay? He's out in California. He gets, mistaken for him all the time. He's also an actor. He's been in 5 feature films. He starred in the Roberto Clemente story as a baseball player, but that's okay. He's also a screenwriter. So he uses his head and he goes out there and writes. And he produces movies as well and TV shows. He's an extremely committed Christian. He is a mentor to youth athletes. He's an Olympic athlete. And he's here today because he's a graduate of Eastern Michigan University. The thing I like to say about Jamie is he even has his own trading card. And if you're really nice, I have one that I've been carrying around in my wallet here, and you ask him for one, I think he'll give you one today. So it's a little distinction that he's got. I didn't know Jamie when he was at Eastern. I knew of him. We met through USA Track and Field a few years later, where I'm on the board of the foundation. Jamie is our most highly requested and highest ranked mentor to youth in a program called Win with Integrity, which again I think says a lot about Jamie the man. He goes into schools, he talks to kids, he teaches them about doing the right thing, about not doing drugs, about performance-enhancing drugs, and really delivers a pretty brilliant message. Now this is a guy who's been on the top of his game for 12, 15 years. And I don't know about you, but in life, it's easy to be a hero when you're on top. Where you really learn about people is when they hit adversity, when they fail. And that's how I really got to know Jamie Nieto. You go back to 2004, Jamie won our Olympic trials. He went to Athens. He was in second place the entire competition, right up until the very last jump. He then put in another 4 strong years and decided that he was going to make a shot at Beijing. He went to our Olympic trials, came in second. And by the way, the top 3 in the Olympic trials make the Olympic team, and this is extremely important at Eastern. You heard from Ken that we have a streak which goes back to 1960 with Hayes Jones, where we are the only school in the U.S., the only university, that has a track Olympian in every summer games for the last 50 years. So this is real important. So Jamie's at the Olympic trials, 2008, he comes in second. But guess what? They changed the rule that year, and they said unless you jump the Olympic qualifying height before or at the trials, you couldn't make the team. Well, Jamie hadn't done that yet, and he was dropped from the team. Well, I don't know about you, but I would have had a meltdown. Jamie went on TV, conducted himself like a gentleman, thanked God. Then he went off to Europe. Very next weekend, he jumped that Olympic qualifying height. I remember the call today. Called me from Ireland, said, Dan, I made the height. I want to appeal this decision. I said, Jamie, let's do it. So off we go with attorneys and the Court for the Arbitration of Sport and a long process. Got all the right arguments, attorneys in New York, the whole thing. Looking really good. We get the phone call. Jamie lost. Wasn't going to the Olympics. Imagine what it's like when your dream is destroyed. We've all been through experiences like that. Jamie, composed, humble, didn't erupt, kept it all under control, and he redoubled his efforts. He went out for another 4 hard years. And don't be surprised if you see him in London this summer. And also don't be surprised if you see him at the Oscars someday with an Academy Award. Speaking of drama and entertainment, there is a happy ending to the Eastern Olympic story. Just weeks before the Games in 2008, one of our women's track sprinters, Sasha Springer, who is from Trinidad, actually was named to their Olympic team, and the streak continued. So it lives on to 2012. You know, acting and screenwriting have been a passion for Jamie all of his life. But the important thing was he went out and did something about it. He decided that he wanted to be the best in that world as well. And ladies and gentlemen, the world needs more leaders like Jamie Nieto. Our youth needs to be more balanced, more focused, more well-rounded like Jamie Nieto. He's brought honor to Eastern Michigan University. He's a bright, shining example that if you work hard, if you live your life the right way, you can always be the person, and there's still time to be that person you always wanted to be. Thank you very much.
Of all the incredible athletes to graduate from EMU, few can say they've gone as far in their sport as Olympic high jumper Jamie Nieto. Jamie fostered his talents during his time at EMU, where his outstanding role on the track team brought him to national prominence in the high jump. Despite his individual talents, he was regarded by colleagues and coaches alike as an exemplary team player.
You know, he was a great teammate. I don't think you could find anybody that had a bad word to say about him, and really raised everybody's level, especially in his event. You know, they see him doing better and achieving things, and so it kind of raised the bar for everybody, so to speak.
Jamie's accomplishments speak for themselves. He won several Central Collegiate Conference titles, and at one point was named the most valuable performer at the event. He was a 3-time All-American, placing 3rd at the NCAA Indoor Championships. He placed in the U.S. TFF National Meet 3 times. He became a 2-time Mid-American Conference Indoor Champion, and he cleared 7 feet 6 inches in the high jump, the highest ever by a State of Michigan collegian. After graduating in 1999, he continued to excel as a high jumper on a national level. In 2000, he placed 5th in the 2000 U.S. Olympic Trials. 4 years later, he won the same trials with a personal best record of 7 feet 7.75 inches to qualify for the Athens Games. In the Olympics, he jumped a personal best of 7 feet 8 inches, the same height as the second-place competitor. Due to misses in earlier rounds, he placed 4th, but this score still placed him in the elite upper echelon of high jumpers.
Being on a Team USA is a tough thing to do. It's the greatest country in the world as far as track and field is concerned, and being one of the top 3 in any event is quite an accomplishment. To be the best in that event in the country is a major accomplishment, and then to be in the top 5 in the world, I mean, there's how many billion people in the world, and he's one of the top 5 high jumpers in the world.
Jamie continues to compete on the international scene and has ranked in the top 10 U.S. high jumpers since 1998. He also branched out into acting and producing, putting the same focus and effort into his creative endeavors as he did as an athlete.
I think when you talk about the Hall of Fame, you certainly look at someone's athletic accomplishments, and his are unparalleled. Was conference champion, was a many-time All-American, and became an Olympian after he graduated. But as a person, he represented the university with dignity and class, and never a poor moment, poor sportsmanship or anything. Always at the highest level of integrity.
It is this integrity, combined with the phenomenal athletic standard he has set in his sport, that makes him an obvious inductee into the E-Club Athletic Hall of Fame.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jamie Nieto.
Wow, it was really nice, and thank you so much, Dan, for those beautiful words. And first of all, I guess I would like to say thank you to Jesus Christ for allowing me to be here. This is definitely an awesome opportunity. So my experience at Eastern Michigan, I started high jumping in 1993, junior in high school, due to a failure at basketball. Well, through basketball, I missed out on making the basketball team in my junior year because I had a bad grade in geometry. So a friend of mine said, hey, by the time you get your grade up, come out for the track team, maybe try the high jump, come back the next year and you'll be dunking on everybody. I was like, okay, I want to dunk on everybody. And that's pretty much what happened, but I fell in love with the sport. I made it to the state meet that year, California state meet, which was huge. You know, out of a team of 60 athletes, there was me and 2 women who made the team, or who made it to the state meet. And so I really enjoyed it. So that first year I ended up jumping 6'4", and then my second year, which was my senior year, I played basketball and I ended up jumping 6'9". Then, you know, I got some letters from some D2 colleges, and I wanted to go to a D1 because I knew if I competed against the best, I could be the best. It just wasn't the right time. I was brought up in a single-family home, and my mother didn't have the money to send me to a college, so I knew the only way I was going to get to a university was to get a scholarship. So I ended up going to a junior college, Sacramento City Junior College. They have produced numerous 7-foot high jumpers. So I thought to myself, if I jump 7 feet, maybe I can have a possibility to get a scholarship. And that's what happened. My freshman year at Sac City, I jumped 7 feet, and then the second year I jumped 7 feet and a quarter, barely, a little bit of a PR. But it was good. You know, I started getting more offers of scholarships and stuff like that. And then I remember one day my coach came to me and he said, Jamie, I got a call from Berkeley, and I also got another call from Eastern Michigan University. I'll never forget my reaction. I was like, Eastern who? Never heard of Eastern Michigan. Where is that at? So found out that, you know, Eastern Michigan had a really good business college, and we sat down, we talked about it, and we weighed out the pros and cons, and I always wanted to have that away college experience. And, you know, Berkeley wanted me to wait another semester before they gave me a scholarship, and Eastern said they wanted to take me right now. And didn't even have a recruiting trip. I didn't even come out here to visit the school. I just did research online, found out they had a good business college, like I said, and I'll never forget my first meet here. I came, and we had our first indoor meet at U of M, and the guys got into a fight. And I was like, what's going on here? I like this school. This is yeah, Fabian, yeah. I like this school. These guys got a lot of heart and passion. I felt like this is right where I wanted to be. But it has been a blessing, and I definitely appreciate everything that I accomplished here, and appreciate all the support, and I appreciate the E-Club for inviting me out and giving me this award, and appreciate the friends and the relationships I made. And you know, as Dan said, you know, I go to a lot of schools and speak to a lot of kids and stuff like that. And I always tell them, you know, your only limitations are what you believe them to be. So believe that you can be the best. Follow your dreams as I continue to follow mine. Thank you again. Make sure you guys check me out, jamienieto.com. I'm on Facebook, Twitter. And I might not see you again, but you'll see me. Thank you.